I have the attribute information here. Now this attribute information we can modify or you can add. You can modify or you can add. When we'll be doing spatial joining, you will see the way I am going to modify or add existing information to the existing one, or new information to the existing one, or create my own to the existing one. But what I want us to talk about is how do you customize all this into what you want. Now let's proceed, because then we are going to still use this African map and we are going to create them by population, or Rwanda by population. Then what we're going to do is that we're going to use spatial joining, and then we take the location, this particular file, and we can merge it with another one with its own information, either by using the ID or FID or country or whichever thing that we can create as a primary key connector. We're going to use that to do it. But for now, I want to create an African map that I want to modify how it looks. So we are going to be talking about Choropleth map, but we are going to be focusing on this. Now, what is Choropleth map? A Choropleth map is the map that shows values, a map that shows details using the features. So Choropleth map. So it is a type of map that shows display like these ones, that displays whatever it wants you to show you using its statistic or thematic features. So if you see all this map you have here, these are Choropleth map created to represent variations of things, either population, either food, either whatever you want to check. So this is what you can see, a Choropleth map. You can use it in population, you can use it in other statistic variables. So this is what I mean by Choropleth map. If you are doing this, is an election Choropleth map of United States, showing the Republican and then the Democratic Party election. So you can do the same thing. In as much as have a variable or table, you can use that to create a Choropleth map. Now, returning back here, how do you create a Choropleth map? A Choropleth map can be simply created by using any ID. So you see here, this is single. If I go to unique value here, you can see here that it is going to change color. Now ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I now switch use by country, what happens is going to create a Choropleth map here for me, showing me different colors. But you remember that this is not a color, it's just like a name. This is not a statistic ID. We are going to use population. We can identify where there is high population or low population density. So we are going to get that done. But as you see here, when I say value, it takes me to that value there. Graduated color, it also works when you talk about graduated color. So you need to make the color where you're going to select what is it going to graduate with. Is it population? Is it what? So you are going to get that done. So, but for now, I just want you to know that the way I switch it up here, we are now trying to create a Choropleth map showing different countries as it aligns. Now, in this way, if you have something that looks like this, and okay, you say I want to create a unique classified color, or I want to create a type of map that have to do with unique ID. Now, this unique ID, you want to create an African map that have information associated to it. Like I ask you, I want you to create the African map by the zone. So we have East, South, and North Africa. And you see here that this, I have to put it in East Africa or South Africa or whichever African country I see it. So I need to know those Africa countries. So while we are here, we are 5, right? I want Honore to use his phone and then list out the countries that are in the West Africa. I want Lydia to know the countries that are in the East Africa. Then I want Leonso to tell me the country that is in South Africa. I want Farida to tell me the country that is in Central Africa. And then I want Balak to tell me the country that is in the North Africa. So even if you have paper, just browse it and keep it so that we are going to use that on. Now, when we're going that, you see here, this is the attribute of this, which is what is translated in the table here. You see this color represent what they are calling seeing here. There are 52 of them classes, their names here, and this is the display on how it is going to display. By here, you also have the same thing. Now, if you want to make a classification by country or the way you put, the first thing I want you to know is that to do it manually, you don't have to stress yourself on those things. What are you going to do? Select it one after the other. Like if you see here, one, I will hold shift and I can go up to here. All of them are being in the same patch. I can right click on it and I can say group value. Now see what happens. Those countries that I selected are now going to the same color. By this, let me change the color to red. Let me change the color to something else so that you can see where it is exactly. Now if you look at the map, you see that those countries that I selected has been grouped into that particular pattern. As you can see, if you look here, you see that has actually changed to that particular pattern, this country. Now if I go again and I hold shift, I can select the range. If I right click and group, and then you can see that that country also will be grouped into that color. And I'm going again to select it again, and I'm going to hold shift to where I stop. I can right click again and I'm going to group them, and that country is going to group in that particular pattern. So what I'm doing is that I am doing them manually, and you can see the way each and every one of them is changing. Now the same thing, if I want to select them by mixing it up, I can hold select, and now I'm holding control. I can pick it one after the other. So you can see I can pick this one after the other. Can pick it one after the other, and I will right click and I will group them. Now this, you see the way they are changing. Now let me select from the beginning then to the end here, and I also group them. Now I've grouped this into different parts. So by grouping them, I can now go ahead. So let me go back and just change the color to make it quicker. So here I can go here to change this color to something faster. So you see now that look at the color based on what we have done now. So if you look here, you see now that I've changed this to these different types of color, as you can see. Now if I go here, select this, that reflect to that color, and if I go down again, select red, and then that reflect to those color. Now what do? I just group them here using the symbology. Now what if I don't supposed to bring them using the symbology in that particular pattern? Because the disadvantage of this thing you see here now is that as you are seeing it here, we have to add all variable, because when you want to add or remove here, you can see count, refresh, regenerate, reverse, and rest of them. These are what you can do here. But the problem here is that when the moment I said I don't need it in unique value again, I want to make it in graduated color, see what happens. Then if you say return back to unique value again, see what happens here. So if anything happens that you completely clear this like single color and apply, it return back to single color. And when you say here unique values, see what happened, it resetted. So I have to go back again to start doing the same thing, and that is going to take us forever in doing that. So if you do that, that's going to have been restarted, and then you have to start afresh, except you have to now export this and then save it now and use it for another thing. But if not, this is not being included here. So you have to go here again, select the country, and start looking for the country you group. If you group them by country, that must have gone out, because for example, you see the way we are doing it, and we say Burkina Faso, Cameroon, let's say Rwanda, Eritrea is in East Africa, Ethiopia is in East Africa. Then you now look for another country again. Let's say Kenya is also in East Africa, and after grouping them in the same format and then write it East Africa, it have scattered. So in that way, it won't really work well for us. So that is the reason why when you look at the attribute information, it gives you ability to create a new data format. Now, don't worry about what I'm going to do now, because I am going to do that when we'll be having a real data like population to nest into this to use it to create a map of population. I will do that. But for now, assuming I want to create this thing, because when I finish here, let me switch to the layer a bit. and I'm going to close this, and then I am going to click on insert and add a legend. Let me just draw a legend here as example. So if you look here, you see that when I go to symbology and I'm talking about this one, and I'm going to right click on this Africa, go to symbology, and this brings in here. You see that if I come here and group this up here, I selected the first one and I'm holding shift to Madagascar, right click and group. What happens if you look at the legend? When it refresh, you see that it have grouped it into that particular pattern. So let's open up this to see what is there a bit. So it's still not okay. Symbology, going to go here, symbology. Now let me group many of them so that I can explain what I'm saying better. So group again, then let's go again to this and group them as well. So what I'm trying to show you is that if you look at the shape file here, you see that it is showing the dot sign because of the grouping. Now this is trying to tell you that the length of that text is too long. You can see here, you see, it's long. Now how do you ratify this in case you want to do it like this? That's just what I wanted to show us. When you are here and you want to make that happen, you see the way it is long. When you want to edit, so you see this is where to edit. Go here, click on this. Anything you change here is what is going to change to. Anything you change. If you look at Togo, you see that you have changed to that. Let's look at Algeria. So I can change this Algeria to Lydia. That's have changed from there to what is here. Like all these ones that have a long one, you can also change it there. But the moment you change the variable, this get to run away. Now what happens again? That's where the attribute information comes in. What is the attribute information? What Lydia explained to us, like descriptive and rest of them. So I'm going to open up this country again. I'm going to open this attribute table. Now we're going to do it normally, manually. That's why I said we are going to do it manually, like what is not going to be stressed to us. Now in this case, I'm going to like use this to get it done. Now if you look here, you see that we have a map of Africa here. So I'm going to drag this to push it where so that we can see it. Now in here you have ability to add other information here. What are the information you can add? I can decide to create a new field and I can add population, I can add party system, I can add number of male and number of female, I can add a lot of things here, but I don't want to do that. That's why I say when we do joining and relation, we are going to be talking about that. Then we'll show you how we can join a data, other source into a data you want to work on. So I'm going to do it manually for today. How am I going to do it manually? Because I want you to know how you can do it manually in case you want to do something that is not much and you don't need to start stressing yourself on it. Now, here in the attribute information, it is what controlled whatever that is here. So in that way, I'm going to click here, calculate, selection and rest of them, but my interest now is on add field. When you click on add field, it's going to bring this thing for you in ArcGIS. Now, which layer are you referring to? If you have other that layers, you will see them here, but remember that the layer I want to add is Africa. Now, in here, this comes automatic, but there is a field that is showing you here. What type of this thing here you can edit. You see here, green. Double click on it here and say we are going to make it by region. So I'm going to click on region by creating a new column. Remember, like what Lydia explained to us, it is in cell. Cell is this dot and then row is this line. So whatever that is on this line is trying to represent something on that. That is the reason why if I drag this particular Africa down here and I click on Benin Republic, let me click on Algeria, you see that what is going to select for me is only Algeria. You can see it here. I can flash it by right click and flash, and you can see Algeria. Then I can right click on Benin Republic here and flash. You can see Benin Republic flashing. I can right click on it and zoom to. You can see the Benin Republic being zoomed to. Now, what does it mean from what Lydia told us? Lydia mentioned something like row. If I select on this row, that's not going to happen because it cut across different data. If I select on this country, it's not going to happen because it cut across different data. So what control this now is the row. So any of the row you click on, you can see it there. If you look, go down and select another row, you can see where it is located here. It is what controls the row. So what happens is, if you want to add a new field, you add another columns, which is going to take effect in aspect of row, column and row. So this is the column and this is the row, and each of them is the same. So in this way, I want to add region. Now, this is very, very important. What is the alias? You can write it or you don't want to write it. So, but for my case, I'm just going to still repeat it as region, or you can put the alias as zone. It doesn't matter. Now, what type of data here? Remember, you need to open here. If it is a type of data format, assuming I want to calculate the area, I'll go to double. This is very, very necessary, and this is the reason why we're going to be intersecting what we're doing with Python, because this is what we're talking about in Python, and then you need to understand why it goes that way. When you want to calculate the area of a polygon, you cannot be using test. Know this and know it very well. You need to know which one to go for. For me, I want to use this as tests, and that's why I'm going to select test here. Then allow, null, highlight, number format, default, precision, scale, and length. If you have something in mind as length, what length of the text you can increase. Like if you change this into 20, it means that if you have more than 20 characters, you won't accept it. So you leave it by default. And when you are done, I have added zone. So if you want to add another one, you can click here, click here to add a new. You can add population. Remember, I'm going to click here. Then if I click here again, I can add, like, let's say population. Now, in this population, if you put a text, which will have to be an integer, if it is not a short or long or float, assuming you put float here and you are putting 2.23 or 23, it won't work. It has to be 2.3 or sort of things like that. So I want you to note this, because that's majorly what you are going to be working on as we proceed. Now, if you look here, you see I've selected this one. I don't want to put it again. I will delete it. So this row has been deleted. Now, this row have been added. This is the one I just added now. I can go ahead and click on save, and that's saving changes. So once it is done saving changes, it's going to add that new column to the right hand side here. So this is important when you have a data and you want to add your own data, so you can go ahead and add your own data in this particular format. So this is a way to get it done. So this is it. So it is applying the changes. I don't know why it's taking a long time, but you can see here it have added it. So you can see here we have added a region. If I want to remove it, I can see select here, and you can see delete is here. I can delete it. So this is a way to get it done in that particular pattern. Now, once you are done, you can close up this. It has been saved, and if you look at your attribute information here, you can see now that it have added a new attribute information for you. Now, let's start with you. Honore, you can tell me the country that is located in West Africa. So you can already see that here we have West Africa. Another way, before Honore go ahead to tell me the country is located in West Africa, is that here that I am, you can see here, let me drag this down a bit. I already see that this country is located in West Africa. I can start selecting them by using selection here. I can now select this, hold shift, select this, because I don't know, but I think it's in West Africa. So I can select this like this. And once I select it, you see that all of them are being selected here. Can you see it?
Yeah.
So this is selected here, and the same thing is done here instantly. So Honore, Tell me,
Yes.
I'm going to clear. So tell me the country that you find that is in West Africa. Number one.
Number one is Benin.
So I'm going to Benin. I selected Benin. I did not, I select at this place we have three, not here. I selected it on this place, Benin. Next one, I'm holding now. I'm holding control now because I want to pick. I don't want to randomize. I don't want to generalize. So I want to pick it. I'm holding control. After Benin, next one,
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. Next,
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Next, so you can see here as he is calling it, anyone I selected is being selected here based on what Lydia told us that there are row base. It is row base. Go ahead.
Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire. Côte d'Ivoire is is here. Go ahead.
Gambia.
Gambia is here. Go ahead.
Ghana.
Ghana. Go ahead.
Guinea.
Guinea. Go ahead.
Guinea-Bissau.
Guinea-Bissau. Go ahead.
Liberia.
Liberia. Go ahead.
Mali.
Mali. Go ahead.
Mauritius.
Mauritius. I think it's this one.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Niger.
Niger. Go ahead.
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Go ahead.
Senegal.
Senegal. Go ahead.
Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Go ahead.
Togo.
Togo. Is it done?
Yes.
So you can see what he called for me. Now this is West African countries, and you can see how it is located this way, and you can see it's correct. Now what do I need to do? I've created a region. Now I want to write this one West Africa, so I will switch it on here only to be the one selected for me. Now I will click here and then I will type West Africa. Now in the West Africa, so you can see here that I can decide to copy this, or I can query this, like adding it here. Like you can see this field here, I can calculate it that the selected field is going to be the calculated field here, that the selected field here, this is zone. So I can decide, we're going to explore this way so that I can show you how you can replace them with the same way it is here. The region is equal to what value plus or sign. So we're going to talk about this, but let's do it manually. So I'm just going to go here and keep on pasting what I selected here. First I selected here and do copy, and then I'm going here to open up this, and then I'm going to paste the West Africa here. Go here. Sorry, I've created a small problem here because it's a link, so I need to paste it. So you see what I'm doing here, I'm just going down to paste West Africa. So like I said, I'm going to show you how you are going to calculate it, like put it them to it on that particular row you selected automatically. But I'm saying that we are doing it manually for now. So you go in here, I'm just putting West Africa, I just copy and I'm pasting. So what I'm doing is I'm modifying the attribute information. So I am stopping here for now. So anytime you want to work on, look at here, you can see edit here. It is in the menu. You can always click on save, and this will save the information that you have here. So this is saved and it has been added to it normally. So I miss Togo, let me paste for Togo. Now you can see now this is West African countries. Now over to you, Balak, your own country. So what do? I'm switching off again here to return back to all the countries so that I can go ahead with it. Then Balak, tell me the country for your own part.
You said for those countries located in Central, yes, I think.
Go ahead.
The first is Cameroon.
So I'm clicking on 7 here. Next.
Central African Republic.
I'm holding control. Next.
Chad.
Next.
Republic of Congo.
Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, next.
There is Guinea, Equatorial Guinea.
Equatorial Guinea. Yes, go ahead.
There is Gabon
Gabon, go ahead.
and the South Tom and the last one is South Tom and the Principe, I think.
Okay, this one.
Yeah.
All right, so you can see where we have as the central here. So I'm going to switch here. I'm going to go in here and type Central Africa. Then I'll do Control A to copy them. Then I'll just go ahead to paste this here. So like I said, we used to use calculate feed. So when you select that as well, so you can say here that we have this. Then you can bring in, this is zone, this is the areas as zone, and then what type of expression. So you can see here arcade, there are different other expression. This is Python 3. So I'm going to show you how you can just randomize it and then put it up in here straight ahead. Yeah, so because now what I'm saying that this is now taking me time, but it's better I just show you manually like this first. Okay, so this is Central Republic and it's done. Let's return back to normal. Lydia, over to you.
Hello,
Yeah, go ahead. Which country?
Rwanda,
All right, so I'm going to start with Rwanda,
Burundi,
Burundi. Let me go to Burundi first. Okay,
Egypt,
Egypt. Okay, next.
mm, Kenya,
Kenya, next.
Malawi,
Malawi, next.
Tanzania,
Tanzania, yes.
South Sudan,
South Sudan, South
Zambia,
Sudan. I think that's Sudan. Yeah,
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 South,
go ahead.
mm, Uganda,
Uganda, yes.
Zambia, do you speak on it?
Zambia,
Zambia, yeah,
okay,
and
yes.
Zimbabwe,
And Zimbabwe. All right, so
mm,
these are the countries in the East Africa.
there is a lot, there's still some, there's still some we could not speak on.
I think we supposed to have Somalia. I think are they not in the East Africa?
Yeah, there is still included
So
Somalia,
Eritrea,
Eritrea,
okay,
Egypt,
Ethiopia,
which is yeah, Ethiopia,
Eritrea. You can see here, and also this one also supposed to be part of it. I think Mozambique is also Madagascar is in East Africa. I don't know.
yeah, Madagascar, not, even Seychelles.
Okay, so we go to Seychelles. All right. You say Madagascar is in East Africa.
Yeah,
Okay, so now I can go
Cameroon,
ahead. I can go ahead.
Cameroon,
Okay, let me finish up this. So let me put East Africa. So copy. I'm just going to paste. I don't know why not pasting. So this is for the East Africa, so let me save for East Africa. And then the next one is South Africa. Who is on South Africa? Leonce.
Is on. Yes.
So which countries are in South Africa?
First one is South Africa.
All right. Okay. Next.
Namibia.
Namibia. I can't find Namibia. Okay, it's N. Sorry. Next.
Botswana.
Botswana. B.
Yes.
Next.
Lesotho.
Lesotho. L, right?
Yes.
Next.
Next is Eswatini.
Eswatini. I've never been to that country. I really want to go and see what is happening there. Eswatini. Who?
Yes.
Like it's not on this shape file.
Sometimes they call it Swaziland.
Okay, yeah, so let's go there. Next.
Yeah. Mozambique.
Okay, next.
Zimbabwe.
Oh, somebody told us that Zimbabwe is in East Africa, right?
Yeah, sometimes they consider as a part of South Africa or East Africa.
So which one are we going here for today?
Same as Seychelles, Mauritius, and Malawi. Sometimes they consider as a part of East Africa or South Africa.
So they are not in the zone. So let us agree on one. So let's put the Seychelles in the South Africa. And what again? Which country do you mention again? Mozambique. Madagascar.
Not Madagascar. Zimbabwe.
Okay, I've added Zimbabwe. Which other country again?
Zambia.
It's also in
Yes.
South Africa. Interesting.
Okay. Angola.
All right.
So
okay, so let's solve this one. South Africa.
Okay.
All right. So while we're working on this, I want Lydia to tell me how many villages is in Rwanda, because I know it. I want you to tell me, Lydia. You can Google it. And Balak, Honore, sorry, I want you also to tell me how many sector in Rwanda. Now, do you see this? So let's see how many that is remaining. So we can now, to see how many that is remaining, we can now click here and sort it accordingly. So we see now that we are having these ones. These are the ones that we have added, and these are the ones we have not added. So Algeria, I don't know, you can see Algeria here. That's North Africa. Comoros is supposed to be in South Africa, right? Or East Africa. It's supposed to be East Africa.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Congo is in what?
East Africa.
Is it not East Africa?
Central.
Okay. Central Africa. Okay. Djibouti is in what? Is in East Africa. Now, but look at, I'm going to make mistake in Djibouti. I'm going to type it East, and I'm going to put small a, capital letter of Africa like this. Do you see here? It is East Africa. I want to explain this to us when we get there. Remember what I was telling you about variable, so you will understand this a bit, why it is necessary you uniform the data. Now, Libya is in North Africa, same as Algeria. So let's go to North Africa. Then I'm going to copy the North Africa, and I'm going to put Libya, North Africa, Morocco, North Africa, Tunisia, North Africa. Who else are we missing? Western Sahara, North Africa. Now you see now that if you check this, let's save this, and then let's make this thing into ascending, sort it ascending. So you see now that we have added every country by region. Is that okay? But if you notice, you see that even though that number 11 here is East Africa here, but there is capital letter in Africa. Now, Lydia, how many villages do we have in Rwanda?
We have village for 6,837.
Do you know that each of those villages belong to a particular sector?
Yeah,
Balak, how many sector did you find? Honore, you can speak any of you that find that first.
416
Four.
sectors.
Okay. Now, if I ask you to do the same thing I am doing now for all the villages in Rwanda, do you see that you are going to type something for 14,000 rows?
Yeah, get the way.
Do you know that it's going to take you forever?
It is not easy.
That is exactly why, that's the reason why I decided us to do this thing one after the other, to see the type of time it's going to take you, and you see that is not feasible, like it's not possible, because you are going to have a very huge amount of data that you're going to work on. If you remember on the dashboard I showed you, I told you I'm using 29 million columns. Imagine if I want to do such kind of information in that type of data, I can't survive it. And that is why what will bring us next time, I just want us to do it manually today. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to bring you next time on how to do that same thing perfectly by maybe putting it in a structure that will automatically bring in it here for you and group them. All you just need to do is bring those data, put them in a separate folder, and then in a separate file, and be able to integrate them. And those information that we are trying to type all this while will be done. It will remove error, and it will help us create the work faster than what it is. But today, I want us to do it manually so that you will see the importance of getting that done. We are just working with 52 columns, 52 rows that we have been doing till now. So imagine if you are to do the same thing in the village, on village level, that I ask Lydia how many, she says 14,000 something. So you won't finish. So let's quickly go back to what we're saying. Now, I want you to look here critically. I'm going to go into symbology. Now, we have identified north, east, south, central, 5, right? I think it's 5 regions that we identify in Africa, right? Now, remember the key, the column. So we are going to select using the column to create the regional map of Africa. So what it means is that we are going to use the zone. Now, once you create on the zone, this now put to us in different zones. Now, I'm going to return here, and I'm going to switch to layer to explain what I'm trying to say. Now, let's look here. If you look here, you see you have Central, East Africa, North Africa, South Africa, West Africa, and North Africa. Leonso, can you tell me if this legend is okay? Leonso, and tell me
Yes.
it is okay?
Can you zoom out?
Is it okay?
So for me, it look like fine.
Hmm? Can you look at the legend?
So about the so so you can for the East Africa maybe you can say you can so far it's fine.
Okay. So it is fine, but there is something that I'm not comfortable with. And that thing I'm not comfortable with is that you remember when we were talking about variable? East Africa is coming 2 times. And that's showing that there is another East Africa here. But though it is East Africa, but because this is in capital letter, then this is showing us a different East Africa here. Do you get this now? But you get what I'm saying, the answer.
Yes.
Okay, so why I'm saying that is that I want you to know this because you can be working on a data and then you see that this is what is wrong with it. There is nothing again that is wrong with it, but because of that particular, this particular, maybe putting it in a this thing, like the way I put it now, and that is what will be wrong with it. So if you look at the map now, it's not showing the right thing because you can see now that it's trying to show me East Africa twice. So that's just what I wanted us to grab here. Just what I wanted us to grab here. Now, if you look here, see that East Africa. So what do I need to do? You need to return back to the legend and then make the changes so that it will be East Africa, one East Africa, not two. So which one? I think it is this one you can see here. So we just need to change it to East Africa so that it will not occur twice. So this is just what I wanted you to see here only. Every other thing is okay, but we need to save it in such that we only have one East Africa here in the legend. So I'll close this up. Now for you to get this done, you see it's still showing us East Africa here, and then it means you need to, even if you refresh here, it won't happen. So you need to still return back to symbology here. Under the symbology, go here, go to the symbology here, and then in here you can just need to, maybe you can just go in here and say here country, and also just do like you are repeating the same thing again, or you can click on this to remove all value and add them back. Any of them, remove all value and adding them back. That will make you clear it. Now you see the East Africa is okay now. Under here, for all value, you don't need this all value, just right click on it and remove. Here you can see here this one. So if you want to bring it back, click here, it will add all of them again. This is the way to get it done. So you can see East Africa and rest of them, and you can also customize the colors you have by changing it from here, and then you have a new color as related to whichever way you want to do it. So this is a perfect way of getting this done. So if I ask you to create it now, you can create it. What happens anytime I go here? This is what I wanted you to grab. Anytime I go here to come and create this, it didn't change again because it is already part of my attribute table. Now let's quickly rush down to the Excel we were using. You remember when I open up this DPF, like I said, I open up this DPF and you see that, let me open it in Microsoft Word like the first line. And then you see here that we have East Africa, North Africa. See now that we have a new column called North Africa. So every information that I was editing in this particular ArcGIS has been reflected into this. And the more I put it, the more the size is growing. But when it comes to the other one like KML and this, it will eliminate all this repetition and make things easy for us. So you can see here, this is African map by the zone. So this is what I want you to understand here. So you can group it manually, or you can build a new one using the attribute information, and you can make information better than what it is. Is that okay? Is that okay? Any question? Yeah, any question before? Do anybody have a question? Because it's just a bit of what I want you to understand. So here you can see I just wanted to create a map of that shows me the region by number of camp, by country, for example. So you can see here, what did I do here? I'm using data engineering. How do I open it? When I open up the attribute information here, let me here, what I'm doing is I open up data engineering here. When you open up the attribute information, I can drag this to create whatever I want to create. This is Africa, this is count by the Africa. So I can now, here under this particular listing here, I can rotate it and you can see West Africa here by countries, and if I rotate it here again, it return by count. Then under here you can see chart property. You click on it, this is zone by count, you can put it on count. Under label you can show label, so you can see that this is the countries we have of Africa. But if I want to put it in ascending, I can put it for A to Z, or I can put it by ascending pattern, so you can see it here. So once you are done, this automatically, look at the good aspect of it. Now if I click here and change this Central Africa to red color, what happens is that it reflects here, so automatically. So you see here I'm creating a count by zone here, and if I go to chart property here, you can see what it looks like here. This is by series, you can see by symbol, by axle. I think we talked about this a bit the other day, but this is what you can create from this, the symbology. So you can drag this and count by zone, so you can see this here. So once you are done, this is the map. Anything you change in the East Africa, you can also change it, and that's reflected in both color, representing what you have here is also what you have here. So if you change it to North Africa, let's look for another color, blue, and let's change this one West Africa to another color here, dim, and then let's change this one here to, let's say, yellow here. So you can see each of them changing to the parameter that match with what you are actually plotting. So you can see the color changing together with the field, so you get it here. So what you can do here, under insert here, you can see that if you go to the insert here, you created this link. So if you switch to the layout, which we are here, so you can go to the chart here. Already it have created it here. What will you do? You can go in here to add that chart that you want to add. As you can see here, this chart here will ought to come here and display here. So what you need to do, you can close this. Once you close that, it doesn't matter, so you can close this up again, and you can see this showing you count by country. So this is it. So you have it here. You place your legend where you want to place it. This is count by country, which you can also customize. Like I said, you can customize it to whichever way you want it. So you see here, we have only one here. If you also want to create another one, still open attribute information here, and then you can put it up here. This is data engineering. If you right click here, you can see the data engineering. You can create a new one here. You can bar chart, polygon. These are something you can create here. PP plot, scatter matrix, biplot, histogram. This is what there is applicable here. Then if not, you can also right click here, and then you go down to you right click on this one. When you are here, you can go to data here. You can see other things you can add. You can create it here, so you can see what you can create here. Or you can say data engineering. This will open. What does data engineering helps you do? Once you drag any of this and drop it here, it analyzes and shows you what can be done here. So if you look here, you see this is chart preview. So you can see the way the chart is being previewed. So you can make a kind of whichever way you want it. You can calculate. So I select and I calculate. That gives me the calculation on it. And if I go to shape, the same thing happens in all of them. I can make a calculate. Here, you can update the symbology here. You can create the chart here. You can go to the attribute table. Assuming I want to go to attribute table, it switch me back here. But that's just the nutshell of what I want to show you. And my aim here is to give you manually the way you can get your map done. So what else do you need to do here? Select this and then change your map, or you can actually right click and say zoom to layer, and then fit it into what you want it, and then your map is done. You see the way I put up here? Here you can also edit it. How will you edit it? Once you click on it, go to the element here, and then you can now go ahead to customize your chart to be perfect to what you want it to be. Under here, This is the background. You can change it. Under here, this is the format. You can open up here, border, shadow, background. These can be also be well tailored. Chart here, you can see chart frame. You can rename it. It will rename here. Under here, count by zone. You can see here known map. Which one map it is Africa you want to visit. You can edit this as well here, which you can go to, like I said, chart property here, or you go to element, and when you click on element, this comes chart property. This gives you the property of the chart, which you can say count. If you want to sum it up, you can go to the mean. That change, but what we needed is in the count, and that's going to give you something like this. In terms of the split, if you have another data way to split it, you can split it by zone. That's left for you, so it goes by zone if you want to. If not, leave it blank. If you want to label it, you label it. Then here is series. You can plot it. Axis, you can make the axis on how many you want it to be. Here you can put a guide, but remember that anytime you want to change the title or whatever you want to put it, you can make the changes on it perfectly. Now here gives you the general. When you come to general, count by zone, you can say Africa country by zone. So this is whatever I do here, that's going to be updated here. Now what do you mean by here? This is zone. This is zone. Count, you can say country count. Legend title, if you want to put legend title, you put it. Description. Now this description is like Africa is 54 countries, which you can type anything that comes here, and once that is done, it's going to have a small write-up here explaining what you're going to do on your map. Assume you want a short story on the map, you can put it here, and that is what you're going to have here. So you can put title and other marginal information, and that is done. So on this, I'm done.